Today we're going to be discussing the ever elusive panfish and how I fish for them. Start with our normal special thank you shout out to 5 Hour Energy. Berry flavor today. Not bad. Still prefer watermelon. So the reels that I have chosen to chase the humble panfish would be a Penn Battle III 1000. And I know, I can hear the comments now. This reel's lighter, this reel's got a better drag, this reel makes Christmas time happen earlier. I like the Penns. I don't know why, just do. I like the metal body. I like the fact that the handle actually screws in solid. It's not a peg going through. I like the CNC gearing. There's 9 pounds of drag, and it's a very, very smooth drag. And I know there's reels with more drag, but I'm using 4-pound monofilament. 9-pound drag is 4 times probably what I'll ever actually need. So for me, they do extremely well. They work. I know they're not perfect, but I like them. I got a good price on them. And they've never let me down. So that's what I have. 4-pound Berkeley XT, and I've got, I think it's the solar green. I've tried all kinds of different things. Honestly, I just keep coming back to the Berkeley XT. It works. It's a great compromise between abrasion resistance, toughness, knot strength, castability, decent-ish memory. It can get some memory if you leave it on the spool a while and don't fish it. But for what it is, and then adding in the price, you know, it's just a no-brainer for me. Maybe I'll find something better in the future. Right now, I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel. So those are the reels. Rods, yeah. I have a never-ending quest to find the perfect rod for everything. Excuse me. I've got a couple that I'm looking at. Right now I'm using a St. Croix Triumph Ultralight, and it's been good to me for a long time. Honestly, it's far from perfect, but it's what I've got. And as I've gotten more and more interested in fishing panfish, and I've varied the approach, I have found glaring weaknesses in what I have. So I'm kind of debating between maybe, just maybe, a custom bamboo spinning rod, or I got to admit the new St. Croix panfish for 2022 looks pretty appealing. So needless to say, the journey never ends. We'll see. I'll figure something out soon. So why is it that I'm saying I need to change up my equipment? Well, these aren't changing. We'll get these guys out of the way. This is something that I'm used to throwing. That's a 130 Whopper Plopper, and that's kind of something I'm enjoying to throw for pike or maybe small muskie. I don't bass fish because, yeah, let's just leave it there. I don't bass fish. This little fella, let's get that in frame. I'm gonna put a quarter next to him for scale. Now I'm gonna zoom this in, and I'm sure that's gonna make all kinds of things happen, because I think that y'all need a better perspective of exactly how small that little guy is. Okay. I have found these little micro crankbaits. And normally, I am a big fan of you buy really solid equipment and not Amazon knockoff junk. But when it comes to bluegill and crappie and maybe, just maybe, a small bass jumping on there without your permission, I'm okay with buying a setup. Good grief, what did I get? Like 20 of those guys for 10 bucks, 12 bucks. The hooks aren't great, but they're not bad, and honestly, they don't need to be great. Like the Whopper Plopper's hooks are fantastic. You don't really need them to be. You're not really trying to pull in a great big fish. And I've had so much fun using these dumb little things that it has really opened my eyes to a new style of fishing. And let's be real honest, there's times we all just need to recharge and go after something where you can drop a bowling ball next to it and it just doesn't care. And especially when my son goes with me, man, bluegill they're grumpy, they like to fight. They're not real fussy, let's be real honest. They can be a pain to catch at times, but when they're all schooled up and they're in a relatively shallow pond and you can see them and just cast them, it's a good time. And it's a great recharge from, I went catfishing for 5 hours yesterday, got one little tiny one, and I just need a win. And that's where I discovered this kind of fishing is really just a way to reset the scales and make you feel pretty good about yourself. And these little guys are a whole lot of fun. Let me get my box down. I'm going to zoom us back out. Yes, I'm neurotic. Yes, I label my boxes because I have a few of them. And it's just easier for me to grab them and throw them into my fishing backpack this way. This is what I have for my panfish, and you can see the amount of these little guys in here that I got. And there's a pile of them. These are Rapalas, so these are a lot nicer, a tiny bit bigger, but again, there's a whole bunch of them. And this little box right here, here's just a bunch of random plastics thrown in a pile. Get that in frame a little bit better. These are all just the plastics tossed in there. There's some days you just don't want to have to work too hard for it and you just want to recharge. And that's where I've discovered pan fishing is just a really good time. Not to say I don't want nice equipment for it, but you don't need to have a $300 reel, a $100 rod. Okay, I probably will have at least that, but you don't need it. And you can almost guarantee yourself you're going to catch some fish. And all this kind of stuff. This is just, I think this was like the Crappie Master assortment from Bass Pro Shops or something like that. There's just a pile of these things in there. And then I separated out all of my jig heads and some hooks. You know, if you're gonna throw corn, I know it's legal here. No, it doesn't hurt the fish. Yes, they can digest it. Then you've got these little guys. I mean, we've all fished with those since we were kids. The nice thing about this is, man, you don't have to invest a ton of money. I mean, this guy alone is like 20 bucks. I might have double that in this entire box. You know, that's a lot of fishing. Okay, the bobbers might have cost a little bit more because I like nicer bobbers. But for a beginning fisherman, this is a great way to get into it, not break the bank, and see if you like it, see if you enjoy it. I've really thought it's been a good time, and it's given me a way to bond with my son where it's not, come on, let's go fishing. It could be an hour and a half before we get a bite. Could be all day before we get a bite. we're relatively guaranteed, if we go to the right areas, we're going to get a mess of panfish. And the look on his face when he has one is pretty priceless to me. And I want to set him up for a win, not failure. So to me, that's very important right now, as he's developing the passion and the love for fishing, to make sure it is a positive and it's a win, not we went out, we froze, we got soaking wet, we came back, we got nothing but cold and sick. Where if you go out for an hour and you plow through 30, 40, 50 different panfish, that's a pretty good day. It is. We don't keep fish, we just catch and release everything. And I don't feel too bad about offering a free lip piercing service for them. Guys, hope you enjoyed this one. I've been in a bit of a mood. Had some things going on, just haven't really felt much like filming or people. But it's Thanksgiving, and I think it's important that we remember things to be thankful for, and that includes each other. Even the anonymous folks on YouTube who will inevitably tell you everything that you're doing is wrong. But, you know, I guess that's part of it. That's what makes it fun. So, everybody, take care of yourselves and each other. Have a safe and a good Thanksgiving. And be thankful for something. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for your blessings. Bye.